We're back here on our program, and we're talking today with Qpid Adderley, who is promoting Bahamian culture. Gimme my culture, you call it.
Gimme, gimme, gimme. I don't want nothing else, just give me the culture.
Gimme my culture. Is that the name of a CD that you've produced?
That's the name of my latest single, Gimme My Culture, which saw national and very international success, and I'm happy and I'm thankful for that. And it's been moving ever since. It's been moving ever since.
Good. Now, what we're going to see in this video that we are presenting?
You're going to see some highlights of Saturday, just a little short snippet of what happened on Saturday, and this is the beginning of growing something that is going to be very special. Every show is going to be different. What you see at one location, you're not going to see at the next, because I'm going to tweak it and make it more exciting, more exotic, more cultural, more interactive, and back to the culture we go.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see the video now. And this is done at Compass Point.
Yes,
is it?
Compass Point.
All right, good. Let's see this video.
If you're proud to be from the Bahamas, let me hear you make some noise. Fireball. Resurrection. Synergy. Resurrection. Resurrection. Open up the winds. Y'all make some noise right now. Synergy. Sing, try it. Let's go. Resurrection. Make some noise in the building right now. When I say bust, you say bust. Back to the culture. That's what we get. We taking it. Any success in your life? Any success? Who are we? That's everybody, let's go!
Bianca, you like the video?
I do. I was there. I loved the show.
Yes? You find ways to go and attend these shows often, don't you?
Oh, yes, sir. And Sailor was there, so you know I'm following her.
Yes, okay. And so you ought to do more videos like this,
Yes,
Qpid.
of course. Once we get the right people on board and that we make sure the video man is there and there in living color, we'll make sure capture the scenery of the crowd, the environment, and the show, everything in one day. The feedback to the people to show them that this kind of thing could happen, this kind of thing is needed, and the market is there for it.
Yeah, you got this musical bug, as you say, very early in your life.
Yeah.
You have young people who are with you now, young boys or who are into music like this.
Yes. My thing, Mr. Jones, is I don't want to, God forbid, pass and not be able to share some things that I've encountered. I think a tragedy for a musician, for me, is not having a protege. I think we find that a lot in our industry, that people are reluctant to pass on knowledge, reluctant to pass on skill. I don't want to be the next artist that does that. So I have some people from Nygard, pick up those Nygard boys in Eleuthera and Freeport, that they look up to me. So I can't fail. I'll be failing them.
You know, in our radio studio here, we have a number of the photographs of a number of Bahamian musicians. And they go all the way back to people like King Eric, and we have dancers like Sweet Richard and Freddie Munning Sr.
Sweet Richard grew up on Hawkins Hill, the same hill that fostered me.
Okay. We have Tony McKay, there, Count Bernardino, Joseph Spence. I'm thinking in my mind's eye now of some of the photographs that we have on our wall. You know, there's a famous wall in the Love 97 studio, the Wall of Fame.
Wall of Fame.
You heard about Smokey 007?
Of course.
You never met him, I'm sure.
No, never met him.
Wendell Stewart, Mr. Bojangles.
I heard that name before.
You heard that name before?
I heard that name before.
You ever heard about Ezra Hepburn of Ezra and the Polka Dots?
Stop the world and let me off.
Yes. All of these people are on our Wall of Fame. And perhaps one of these days we are going to do a special program, if we can get the cameraman in that room, in our radio studio, so that we can have some of our announcers talk about these Bahamian entertainers and tell the public who they were, what they did.
I think something like that is needed, because people don't know.
Exactly.
How could you celebrate something that you don't know about?
Yes, you know, of course, Ronnie Butler is there, and Mr. Eric Cash, who was a. Then we have Mr. Adams, who played at Lyford Key for many years.
Let me ask you a question: is the photographs of those legends, is the information about them available on the internet?
Some of them, I'm sure, might be on the internet, and we've done.
I also think that is very important moving forward, because we're living in an age that everybody, you know, they have a phone in their hand.
Yes.
And they want to, whose name say? Wendell, they just want to, let me see what this was.
Yes.
So we need to make sure that is moving forward, that is very needed with the Bahamian musicians, a lot, especially those that has passed.
Yes, we have bios of many of them, because we've done books on Bahamian legends, and in some of these books you would find the biographies of a whole lot of these musicians, and you know, young musicians like yourself would do well to. That's how I know I'm getting old, you see, because I know a whole lot of these musicians, met them personally, interviewed them over the years, and so I know the history of a whole lot of them. So it's a project that perhaps
I'd love to be a part of it.
Yes.
I'd love to be a part of it.
Yes, of course.
And a lot of people are familiar with the music but can't put a face
Yep.
to it.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Especially with my music too. A lot of people think I'm a 55-year-old man singing.
Is that right?
yeah.
It's a little season on the radio, I guess. But I guess that's I take that with grace.
And we've lost a whole lot of our Bahamian musicians.
Yeah.
They're no longer with us, and it would be good to have a document with all of these people so that the young
Yeah.
musicians would know who they are. You met Jay Mitchell, right?
Yeah, just did a show with Jay Mitchell on April 13 at Freeport.
Yes.
He told me he's more moving into this gospel music now.
Is he really?
Yeah, so Jay Mitchell, love him, love the guy.
Very strong voice
Very-
still, eh?
Very, very strong, very strong.
Yes, Jay Mitchell has been singing around from the 60s, I guess, and still doing well.
Also met Phil Stubbs. Mm-hmm. And that was a privilege for me, and was in his home. He shared some stories with me. He said, "Qpid, you might not hear from me, you not see me, but I know what's happening, and I like what you're doing." And that was very motivational for me.
Yes, he hasn't done a new song for a little while.
He has actually.
Has he?
Last year he released about 3 songs. Like, he just released music and doesn't perform. His last performance was 2002.
Okay.
Where they featured he was the headliner act. It was Ronnie Butler, Sweet Emily, and Jay Mitchell was the on the card.
Okay.
So I know this history because he showed me this.
Right.
And we walked through his house and he showed me the albums and he showed me the photographs of the last concert and stuff. And it was very, he's a very documented man.
I remember in the early days of Love 97, we had concerts with Phil Stubbs when he released "I Got the Flu,"
I got the flu.
which was was very
Awesome.
popular back then.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to hear that he's still doing well in Freeport. Does he have a place that he is performing at?
No, he doesn't
No?
perform. I don't think he performs.
Okay.
I think maybe, but something might be brewing.
Okay.
You see a resurgence of Phil Stubbs soon.
Okay.
And I think people from all over will come to see that.
This is what I was talking about earlier on in terms of the exposure of Bahamian music, the extent to which people are prolific. They're doing music on an ongoing basis.
Yeah.
I
You're
guess
right.
they've left it to young people like yourself.
Well, if they leave it to me, I do my best not to fail them.
Okay.
Do my best not to fail them.
Very good, very good. Well, it's going to be good to come down to see you at the plantation.
Plantation. We ain't talking about the cotton field plantation now. We're talking about a plantation where you can get some Bahamian music, some Bahamian culture, and back to the culture show.
Very
We
good.
ain't picking no cotton there.
Very good. And that is on the 15th?
Yes.
15.
Good. Very good. Well, I hope to see you then.
Hope to see you there.
Thank you so very much, Bianca.
Thank you.
You do well when you bring us these exciting guests. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Qpid Adderley. Thank you for watching and listening to our program. Good evening, everyone.